It's time for Ryan's Roses. So we've got this as a public service. If there's something going on in your relationship and you can't get to the bottom of it, then this is something you could do. Send us the email. This is from Scarlet in Mar Vista. She says, a few weeks ago, I came home from work early and I saw that my husband was home. When I walked in, he looked like he had just seen a ghost. He said he came home early and found that our house had been broken into. I tried to get him to call the police, but he said it wasn't worth it. Nothing was taken. It was just the bedroom.
Oh.
I mean, that's really
just the bedroom.
No, there was no point of forced entry, and the burglar only went to the mattress.
I swear she came through the window in lingerie and she just liked our duvet.
The burglar came in, threw some pillows around, and decided there's nothing in here. So anyway, she says, I tried to get him to call the police. He said it wasn't worth it. Nothing was taken. It was just the bedroom. Nothing valuable, so let it go. Time goes by. She talked to the neighbors to warn them about this theft or this burgle.
The burgle.
Burgle. It always comes up burgle, like a burgle, about the burgle. And one of them thought they saw a woman climbing out of their window. All right, now it gets interesting. She mentioned it to her husband, and he was as surprised as I was that some woman broke into our house in the middle of the day and climbed out the window. But now I think he made the whole thing up. I think he's lying to me, and I think that woman was there with him and had to quickly escape. Now, I've only seen that in the movies.
Right.
I've never really heard of somebody truly crawling out of the window to run in the middle of the act. Say 800-520-1027. Keep it handy because we're going to want to get your feedback on this one. But here's Scarlet. Scarlet, a couple questions here, but now that I read this detail, we don't need much because this, to me, it just doesn't add up.
Nope.
There was no forced point of entry, correct?
Correct.
The police were not involved because he said it wasn't that big of a deal, correct?
Correct, yeah. He said it wasn't that big of a deal because nothing was taken.
Nothing was done. And the only thing you saw in disarray was the bedroom?
Yes. Yeah. It was, my bedroom was messed up. I don't know. It looked like someone had messed up the bed.
But were drawers and things, did they look like they went through? Like somebody went through them?
Yeah, the bedrooms kind of looked like there was, like my chairs were kind of messed up and things were toppled over.
Well, Scarlett, now come on, you believed him? You bought this story and let time go by?
You know, it's funny because it's like, at first I was just relieved, like my iPad was still plugged in by my bedside and that whole thing, but then, I don't know, and then I told my girlfriends, like, oh my God, someone broke into our house, but nothing was taken.
Can I ask you a question? Did he say he was home when this happened, or he wasn't home when this happened?
He said that he came home.
And it was already in a mess, and the burglar escaped through the window, and now your neighbors say the burglar was a woman crawling out of the window, and they saw it.
Right, I told my neighbors, and I said, hey, be aware, there's someone breaking in to our homes, and then they said, well, actually, now that you mention it, we saw a woman climbing out the window.
So I question your neighbors, why aren't they calling the police if some woman's crawling out of your house? Like, I'd be calling the police on that one. But Scarlett, hang on for a second. We're going to try and make the call and come back here in a second, all right? It doesn't add up.
Yeah, I know. Like you said, you don't even need to make this call, but it will be entertaining.
I'm telling you, it doesn't even add up for me, for her.
No, not at all. Like, why wouldn't she take that extra step and really investigate the crime?
We're in the middle of the roses. I'll be honest. Well, I'll tell you. Yeah. I mean, I can say it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Something in her story doesn't add up to me.
Well, what?
Yeah.
In her story?
Her story doesn't add up to me. So I don't know what that means yet, but her story doesn't add up to me. I don't know if I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't know. Let's do the call and then we'll get to it. So basically, Scarlett, she's married in Mar Vista, and she comes home early from work. Her husband's already home early from work, and the bedroom's in disarray.
Yeah.
And she says, well, what's going on here? And he says, well, there was a burglar in the house, and I came home, and I found that the burglar just came into the bedroom and messed everything up, and then apparently escaped through the window.
And then she says, let's call the cops. And then he says, well, there's nothing valuable missing. So obviously, he had enough time to look around to see that her rings were still there, the iPad is still there.
And so she didn't call the cops, and then time goes by. She warns the neighbors. The neighbors say, well, we think we saw a woman crawling out of your window. See, all of it's fish to me. Yeah. But let's get to it. I'll bring Patty in. We'll find out.
Okay.
what's going on. Scarlet, I need you to say, Ryan, you have my permission to call, and then whatever his name is on Kiss FM.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ryan, you have my permission to call on Kiss FM.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen, Scarlet. Patty is here. She is going to call your husband, and she's going to offer him some roses. Mm-hmm. We want to find out who he sends them to, who's top of mind, right? Like what name comes into his mind first.
Okay.
I hope it's yours. And then what he puts on the card. And that's significant because it can tell us a lot, what he writes on the card. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
How long have you guys been married?
We've been married 4 years.
Any kids?
We don't, but he does. He has a 7-year-old son.
Does the son live with you?
Not all the time, but part-time.
All right, here we go. So Patty's going to call him now.
Hello?
Hi, may I speak to Mark?
This is Mark.
Mark, good morning. My name is Patty calling from Vista Flowers. How are you?
I am great.
I'm calling because you've been chosen to receive a free dozen roses. They are completely free. You can send them to whoever you want this morning. I don't need any information from you, just the name of the person you want to send them to. The reason I'm doing this promotion, it's because I am promoting my delivery service, and I like for my customers to just go ahead and go on my Facebook page and write a quick review in order for me to kind of increase the my likes.
I'm sorry, what are y'all called again?
I'm calling, I'm called Vista Flowers.
Okay, and you're just going to give me free roses?
Yes, I'm doing this to 5 customers today, and they're free dozen roses. We deliver anywhere you want, free delivery. We could do that today if you like, and if you want us to do that today, they will be delivered by lunchtime, or we can choose any other day this week.
Okay, so I just give you the information and you can just send it to anywhere?
Yes, the only information I ask from you is the name of the person you want to send them to, the address, and the note.
All right.
Okay, so who do you want to send them to?
No name.
I'm sorry?
If possible, could we just send like a little message?
Oh, so you don't want to, you don't want to put a name on it?
No, I'm okay.
Well, I need to know where, who's going to receive them.
Yeah, let me give you the address. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And it's going to be Suite 215.
So who do we ask for when we get to this address?
I mean, when you get there, there'll be a desk, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. It's a specific suite.
Okay. What do you want to put on the note?
Do you guys do emoticons?
Yeah, we could do that.
Sure.
Okay.
If you could just do 3 hearts, and when you sign it, instead of a name, could you put "You better know who"? Like you better know who.
Okay. Well,
Mark, it's Ryan Seacrest and Ellen Kay. I want you to know that your voice is being broadcast on the radio. Can you tell us a little bit more about who's going to get these flowers? We have your wife Scarlet on the phone. Scarlet, are you familiar with an address that ends with Suite 215?
Wait, I work there. This is my job.
Well, Mark, is that your office?
That's my office.
Okay, so why would you be sending flowers to your office?
Because I want to hand deliver these flowers. I don't want
to who?
To my wife.
Why not send them to her at home?
I'd rather personally give it to her.
Wait, you're missing. Hold on.
What is this for?
Hold on. You're missing the point. You want to sign it anonymously, but you're going to hand deliver them to her. She's going to obviously know who they're from when you walk into the room and say, "Here are my flowers from You Better Know Who."
I mean, that's funny, right? It's like a joke.
Well, it's kind of impersonal if it's to your wife.
Well, no. I mean, I'm going to be part of the message too. It was. I mean,
right, Mark. Let me give you the benefit of the doubt. let me give you the benefit of the doubt here. Okay, let's say that is exactly what your plan was. Back it up a little bit. The reason that we're on the phone together is that your wife said that she came home, you were home early from work, she walked into your bedroom, the bedroom was in disarray. You said it was, a burglar that broke in, but there was no sign of forced entry. And then somebody escaped through the window. Neighbors said a woman escaped through the window. You said don't call the cops because nothing valuable was stolen. The story doesn't really add up. So the question from your wife is, what happened in the bedroom? Was there a woman in the bedroom that day? There was a sighting of a woman leaving your window.
Okay, is this whole thing set up just so because you guys think I'm just cheating on my wife? Is that what
your wife thinks you're cheating on her?
Right.
Okay, look, our house was broken into. That's true.
Where did they come in? Where'd they come in?
The front door.
They walked right in?
Yeah, apparently. I guess we didn't lock up. I mean, I don't know how these things work. It could have been anybody who broke into our house.
All right, so they're in the house, and now where do they go?
The bedroom window is open. I guess they left. I don't know if it was a female or not. It was a break-in, and it's not.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Even the neighbors are saying they saw somebody. So, I'm not making that up.
Scarlet believes that you were in the bedroom with another woman. Is that the case?
That is not the case.
Okay, then Mark, why not call the police to be safe here? Somebody comes into your place, you should report that.
It crossed my mind, obviously, because it's a break-in, but, a lot kind of happened. She came home. I was frazzled. Nothing was, stolen. By the time I collected myself, I just thought it would be a waste of time for the cops,
Scarlet, do you believe him?
Yeah, it's not making sense. I don't understand this. Like, there was no damage to our front door. I opened it with my key. Like, who breaks in but doesn't break the door, doesn't break the window?
Or locks the door.
Or agreed.
It doesn't make sense. And I want to believe you, but the pieces don't fit together. They never do. When I call you and you're like, oh, I didn't answer because I was working out, but then you don't come home with a gym bag? And now I'm supposed to believe that someone broke into our house, but there's no damage, and they didn't take anything. Not the iPad sitting by the bed, not the open jewelry box, nothing. And now I'm supposed to believe that you were sending flowers to yourself. If you were sending them to me, why wouldn't you just say my name? I don't get it. I don't get it, and none of it makes any sense anymore.
Babe, is there a way we could just talk about this in private without all this?
Mark, I suggest you guys talk about this because I agree with your wife.
She didn't want all of this either, by the way.
There are a lot of holes to this thing. There are a lot of holes to it. Yeah, it could be true if we look at what you just told us.
Look,
but I don't know. There's a lot of coincidences here that don't make sense. So why don't the two of you agree to talk about it right away?
Look, the fact of the matter is, our house was broken into. I should have.
You should call the police. You should call the police. That would have made that. You should have called the police. Scarlet, I don't know what to tell you. You're the best judge of whether or not he's telling the truth. So why don't you guys get together right away and talk about it?
Okay.
All right. And good luck, sweetheart. Mm-hmm.